Emmerdale exclusive. Joe Warren plant on Jacob and Cain's explosive confrontation in Sarah's baby plot. Nobody holds their own against Cain. Emmerdale is no stranger to dramatic twists and emotionally fraught moments, but the upcoming storyline involving Jacob Gallagher, Sarah Sugden, and the ever-fierce Cain Dingle takes tensions to a new high. In an emotionally charged plot involving IVF, cancer, and family loyalty, the ITV soap prepares to deliver a devastating blow to multiple relationships, and Emmerdale fans should brace themselves for what might become one of the most memorable confrontations of the year. As Sarah Sugden's journey to motherhood becomes increasingly complex, the men around her are caught in a storm of secrecy, misplaced assumptions, and raw emotion. At the center of it all is Jacob Gallagher, played by Joe Warren Plant, who finds himself on the receiving end of Cain Dingle's explosive temper after a well-intentioned but misguided slip-up. Now, Joe Warren Plant is speaking out about what it was like to film these high-stakes scenes, the emotional and physical demands of the confrontation, and why nobody, not even Jacob, can match Cain when the storm comes rolling in. Setting the stage, Sarah's baby dream and the unexpected diagnosis. To understand how the conflict explodes, we first have to step into Sarah Sugden's world. After years of trauma, health battles, and heartbreak, Sarah, played by Katie Hill, makes a decision that surprises those closest to her. She wants to have a baby. It's not a passing thought. It's a deeply rooted desire, born from a place of longing for stability, love, and a family of her own. However, because of her complex medical history, she decides to explore IVF, in vitro fertilization. This is where Jacob Gallagher comes into the picture. A longtime friend and once romantic interest, Jacob steps forward to become her sperm donor, a decision that will have ripple effects far beyond what either of them could have predicted. But just as the future seems to be aligning for Sarah, she receives a cervical cancer diagnosis. The news is devastating, yet, doctors tell her there's still a chance to proceed with IVF before treatment begins. Against the odds, Sarah clings to hope and continues with the process. What Sarah doesn't anticipate is that one innocent conversation could set fire to her world. Jacob's honest mistake, and Cain's terrifying reaction. In scenes set to air next week, Jacob lets slip Sarah's IVF plans during a casual moment with Cain Dingle, her grandfather. Jacob assumes Cain already knows. He doesn't, and Cain reacts exactly how you'd expect. Furious, betrayed, and hurt by being kept in the dark about something so deeply personal involving his granddaughter, Cain's anger boils over. But the fury isn't just about the IVF. It's about Jacob's involvement. In Cain's eyes, Jacob, who isn't family, is more intimately involved in Sarah's life than he is. What follows is a tense and violent confrontation. Cain threatens Jacob, the physicality escalating into something Sarah herself walks in on, leaving her shaken and heartbroken. Joe Warren Plant speaks out. It was fun and intense. While the scenes themselves are intense and dramatic, Joe Warren Plant revealed that filming them was an entirely different experience. Speaking candidly, he said, "It was incredibly fun actually. You don't get scenes like this every day. And for me, having not done many scenes with Jeff Hordley before, it was a real treat." Plant admitted that working so closely with Jeff Hordley, who has embodied Cain Dingle for over 2 decades, was both an exciting and insightful experience. Hordley's ability to bring danger and depth to Cain's emotional outbursts is well known, and the tension he creates on screen is palpable. It was nice just to see his approach to things and be able to do scenes where it's just us two and having direct contact, Plant said. That contact included a staged scuffle, a sequence that was carefully choreographed by stunt coordinators to ensure both safety and realism. It's always fun doing scenes where there's a little bit of a tussle involved, he continued. And we probably had at least 20 takes on that one shot, just because of technicals. So by the end of it, both of us were absolutely gassed. It was a very fun day. Stand up to Cain? No way, Plant laughs. While the physicality on screen looks menacing, Plant is quick to downplay any suggestion that Jacob could go toe-to-toe with Cain. "I don't think anybody can hold their own against Cain," he laughed. Jacob's not really a violent individual. He tries to de-escalate the situation. "I don't think he's going to go out looking for a fight with Cain, but he definitely feels intimidated in that scene in particular." Jacob's strength, Plant says, lies not in his fists but in his emotional maturity. This storyline forces Jacob into difficult territory, balancing his desire to support Sarah with the unintended consequences of stepping into what Cain sees as family business. Behind the scenes, what makes Cain Dingle so formidable? Part of what makes Cain's character so terrifying is not just the violence, but the love that drives the rage. Cain isn't a one-dimensional antagonist. He's a man who's lost too much, trusted too few, and fought too hard to let go without a battle. In many ways, his rage towards Jacob isn't just about jealousy or pride, it's fear. Fear that his granddaughter is growing up without needing him, fear that decisions are being made behind his back, and perhaps most painfully, fear that he's being replaced. For Emmerdale fans, this layered reaction isn't new. It's classic Cain. Hurt masked as anger, vulnerability hidden beneath rage. Sarah at the center. Hurt, hope, and the aftermath. For Sarah Sugden, this scene marks a crossroads. Walking in on her grandfather threatening Jacob, someone she trusts deeply, is a blow to her already fragile state. Navigating a cancer diagnosis while pursuing fertility treatments is emotionally exhausting enough without a family war erupting around her. The fallout from the confrontation could be long-lasting. Will she forgive Cain for the outburst? Will Jacob step back, fearing more violence? Or will Sarah draw a boundary of her own? There are no easy answers, but the drama promises to be emotionally resonant and incredibly relatable for viewers who have ever found themselves caught between loyalty and love. The bigger picture: IVF, cancer, and male vulnerability in soap storytelling. What makes this storyline so timely and powerful is its exploration of multiple major themes: young women navigating fertility and illness, the complexity of non-romantic male-female partnerships, toxic masculinity and generational trauma, how love can both protect and damage. By bringing IVF and cancer into the spotlight through Sarah's story, Emmerdale opens up vital conversations around reproductive rights, support systems, and the emotional toll of treatment. At the same time, Cain's reaction shows how men in crisis often express love through anger, raising questions about masculinity, control, and emotional repression. Meanwhile, Jacob's gentle, de-escalating approach offers a contrasting model of male behavior, one that doesn't rely on dominance but on empathy. Jacob and Cain. The road ahead will not be easy. Sources close to the show hint that the tension between Cain and Jacob doesn't simply disappear after the scuffle. Trust has been broken. Relationships have been altered. Jacob's in this strange space, Plant said. He cares deeply for Sarah, and he's trying to do the right thing. But he also doesn't want to make enemies, especially not of someone like Cain. Will Cain apologize? Will he soften his stance? Or is this just the beginning of a deeper rift? Time will tell. But for now, viewers can expect a slow-burning emotional fallout, one that tests loyalties, shifts alliances, and ultimately reshapes the emotional map of the Sugden and Dingle families. A word from the fans. As this explosive plot plays out, social media is already abuzz with anticipation. Early reactions to the IVF storyline have been overwhelmingly positive, with many praising Emmerdale for tackling such a nuanced and emotionally layered topic. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "Sarah wanting a baby while battling cancer? That's raw, powerful writing. And Jacob offering to help? Unexpected but so sweet. #Emmerdale." Others have expressed concern over Cain's reaction, with some saying it mirrors real-life family dramas where control and protection blur into anger. Typical Cain. Loves too much, says too little, then explodes. Love him and hate him at the same time. Final thoughts. Emotional truths behind the drama. At its heart, this story isn't just about a fight between two men. It's about what we do when life doesn't go to plan. It's about love expressed imperfectly, about grief for control lost, and about young people trying to take charge of their futures in the face of impossible odds. As Emmerdale continues to deliver some of its most emotionally powerful work in recent years, this storyline will likely go down as one of the most talked about arcs of 2025. Stay tuned. The storm is just beginning.